Well, guys, I have some sad news that I have to impart on you. And a lot of you are going to be disappointed in me because I, as a YouTube stock picker, was really into Palantir stock. I did my DD on the business. I watched Amit Kukrija. I watched Matt Money. I watched Tom Nash and all the associated good investors on YouTube that covered the stock known as Palantir. And I was a little nervous about the company. I'm not going to lie. I was really nervous about it because I saw in 2022 the stock collapsed to like $6 or $7. Tom Nash and all of them were talking about it when it was like $30, $40. They told you it was a screaming buy. And then it collapsed to $6 or $7. And the world seemed to be over for Palantir. But then the stock recovered. Revenue growth recovered. They started signing new clients, getting new contracts. They became profitable. They got added to the S&P 500. They got added to QQQ. And the stock roared to the moon. And I could not stay away. I could not resist. When it was going down, I was scared. When it started going up, I said, you know what? Maybe this is a good stock. Maybe now is the time to buy. And I told my fans that Palantir was a screaming buy. Unfortunately, I think I have lost my fans a lot of money. And I'm here to apologize to you. Now, I bought Palantir roughly around, let's see, not year to date, roughly around $64. $64. And since the time that I bought Palantir, it ran up all the way to $82. So I made roughly a 33% return, which is not bad. And I'm glad my fans were able to catch that ride. But then Palantir started to sell off. As a matter of fact, it's down 10% and in a month. And now that Palantir's down, I'm not going to lie, guys. I think I made a mistake. I started to see it go down, and I started to question my investment. I got scared. I bought in at 64. I made a ton of money. I went on other channels and made fun of people and posted in their comments. But now I'm starting to think, maybe Palantir wasn't that great after all. Maybe it's in a bubble. And I made a mistake. Now, why do I think Palantir is potentially in a bubble? And yes, I bought it. And yes, I panic sold it, okay? I'm just a retail investor. That's what we do. That's how we operate. We buy the stock assuming it's going to go up forever after it's already run up. And then when it starts to fall, we panic. But why do I think Palantir is a bubble? Well, number one, as I've unfortunately mentioned before, every single valuation metric in the book points to this company being a massive bubble. Companies that have insanely high price to earnings ratios, insanely high forward price to earnings ratios, and a price to sales of 58, which is probably one of the most expensive stocks in the market. When you're paying $58 for $1 of revenue, not earnings, revenue, there's a potential that the stock could be in a bubble. As a matter of fact, you're paying $157 for $1 of trailing operating cash flow. You better hope this company grows enormously over time. And I don't think Palantir is growing fast enough now that I've seen the stock go down to really justify that. Okay? And I also figured out, besides buying this stock after it ran up, which is a terrible mistake, but I feel like most people did that, I figured out that this whole company was run by a cult. This company has a whole cult of YouTube pumpers behind it. How do I know this? Well, I'm looking at this video from Tom Nash. Okay? Tom Nash. He's giving us an emergency Palantir stock update. Do this ASAP. In the world of investing, if you're actually a long-term investor, number one, you shouldn't be following people on YouTube except for me. And number two, you don't need daily updates every time the stock drops. But what the cult leaders do is they try to reassure their fans, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It just dropped a little bit. And that speaks, number one, to the grifters. They're grifters. And number two, it speaks to their fans who know nothing about Palantir, who don't understand the company, who don't understand valuation, who understand nothing except the stock went up. And now they're starting to get mad at the grifters because the stock dropped a little bit. So let's listen to some of Tom's cope here. I'm going to give you a quick reaction before I have to go somewhere. And I want to point out some very concerning things and prove to you this is a cult. The cult, you should not have to be reassured every day about your stock. You should not have to be reassured daily. If you get concerned on a daily basis, you're probably a clown and you're probably in a cult.
So Palantir had an amazing ride for the past 2 years, going all the way from $6 to $80 in the span of 2 years, but yesterday was a complete slaughterhouse. The stock dove off a cliff, losing 8% in a single day, and today, as of the making of this video at least, the stock is still down in pre-market, so who knows when this thing stops. Now, in this video...
And remember, all these guys were pumping it in the 30s and 40s. It dropped to about $6 or $7. Most people sold out, I guarantee it. And then this stock got launched to the moon because of an AI bubble. Now, maybe not everything that's involved in AI is in a bubble, but I believe Palantir is a bubble. 110%. But let's keep watching.
I'll explain to you what happened, why the stock is down, and if I think the stock is going to keep coming down, where this stops, and more importantly, what my strategy is going forward with Palantir. Now, the entire market dove off a cliff yesterday. Palantir was no different. When the Fed sneezes, everybody gets wet, some more, some less. A stock that is extremely volatile and highly correlated to the market like Palantir, with a beta of almost 3, is going to get wet a lot more than others. Now, yesterday, just to keep a long story extremely short, we had some macro data that showed that the economy is stronger than people thought, which basically leads people to think that the Fed might not cut rates at the same pace they promised to begin with, and that basically sent people to panic mode. Everybody got wet, Palantir included. But Palantir actually had some extra oomph to their drop because Cathie Wood sold some Palantir stock, and again, people freaked out. Now, in my personal opinion, Cathie Wood has...
We're still tracking Cathie Wood? I thought Tom Lee was a new famous guy that we all worshipped now. Cathie Wood's old.
As much to do with innovation, tech, and understanding of Palantir as my grandpa's balls to space travel, but that's just my own opinion. Maybe I'm completely wrong on this. I pay no attention to what she's doing with Palantir. She has a long track record of trading this stock and not long-term investing, so I don't care when she buys. I don't care what she sells. Good luck to her. Good luck to her fund. It's none of my concern, but you...
So if you're talking to long-term investors, why do you have to constantly reassure them? I don't understand. If your audience really understands long-term investing, why do you have to constantly reassure them? Oh, it went down today. Do I make a video saying VT went down today? Do you think I care? You think if you don't get it by now, you ain't gonna freaking get it. Go watch some other clown. Okay? Daily reassurance videos are indicative of a audience that does not understand investing. I'm just gonna put that out there, okay? That's just my humble opinion.
You have to understand, in a world filled with trading bots, and this news comes in, Cathie Wood sells Palantir stock, and have macro data that's sending the entire market down, there's going to be selling pressure, extremely, extremely powerful, especially with a stock like Palantir, which is very, very volatile. And on top of it, we had Morgan Stanley come out and say, well, you know, Palantir is a great company, great technology, long-term, it has a bright future ahead, but short-term, it is slightly overvalued. We expect that the stock is going to drop to the 60s. In fact,
they think it's slightly overvalued. Slightly. With a price to sales of 58. You know, during the dot-com bubble, stocks went up massively. Massively. And they had insane price to sales multiples because they became divorced from the fundamentals. Does Palantir make money? Yes, they do. Do they have a great balance sheet? Yes, they freaking do. Are they growing revenue? Yes, they are. But you can still be insanely, massively, ungodly overvalued despite all of those. Palantir is no exception. This thing could fall a lot if things turn nasty. A little hiccup in the market sent this stock dropping 10-something%. What do you think a bear market's going to do to this baby? And what do you think you're going to do? because I know when you freaking bought it. You're gonna panic and sell because you bought it because it was going up. You don't know what you're freaking doing, and you're gonna sell it when it goes down. Guaranteed.
They gave it a $60 price target in what seems to be a self-fulfilling prophecy at this point, because their bearish outlook again nudged the stock even further to the cliff, dropping it along with Cathie Wood, along with the rest of the market. And on top of it, we had, of course, Jim Cramer come out just a couple hours before the tumble started, come out and say that Palantir is the best thing since sliced bread. It's chef's kiss. And you know, when Cramer says these things, this is what tends to happen. The man
Cramer is an idiot and a fraud. Whenever a stock goes up, he loves it. Whenever it drops, he hates it. It's as simple as that. He's a typical Wall Street guy, and these YouTube guys are no freaking different, and you're no freaking different. You buy stuff that goes up, you sell stuff that goes down.
and is undefeated. I'm joking, of course, no disrespect. But as a new investor, I totally understand why you might panic. I understand why you feel anxious, why you're stressed. I get it. I've been there. I understand. You haven't seen this before. All you've seen is just the stock green all day long for 2 years. I understand. You might be thinking, did I screw up? Did I make a mistake? Should have I sold earlier?
You did make a mistake. You never take a huge position in a potential bubble. Maybe it's not a bubble. But there's a better chance than not that it is. And you should never take highly concentrated positions in any one stock that could potentially be in a bubble that is massively divorced from its fundamentals. That is noob 101. But these clowns are going to try to convince you to stay in. Trust me.
Is it time to get out now and cut my losses? All of these questions are absolutely normal. So I'm not going to judge you on it. I'm not going to call you out on that. In fact, I'm going to confirm that this is absolutely normal. And even though a lot of people do not admit this, this is what most people think. And to this, I only have one answer, which is relax. Relax, my guy. Relax. Everything that's going on right now is absolutely freaking normal.
No, everything going on is not normal in this market. Okay? If you're taking highly concentrated bets in companies, you could make a lot of money, but you could also get annihilated. Think about the risk. That risk is very prominent in Palantir. There is a risk that it's in a bubble, and bubbles go pop. It only takes one of it. If we go into some kind of bear market or we have some kind of event that triggers a market meltdown, Palantir will get annihilated, and I guarantee you, you will sell. No doubt in my mind.
Allow me to explain. You see, Palantir is what you call the high beta stock, which means that it has a very, very high correlation to the rest of the market. When the market is happy, just a little bit, like a little smile, like Palantir is like, ah! The same kind of stock that behaves like this in good times when the macro data comes out and it's not great, and when there's also other negative catalysts like Cathie Wood selling and you have the Morgan Stanley stuff going on, that pushes the stock a lot further than the rest of the market. And that is...
Yeah. Beta is a measure of volatility. So if the market drops 10% and you have a stock with a beta of 3, it might drop 30% or more. Did you even know that? No, you were just looking at these clowns' videos and buying it because it went up a lot and it's the future, bro. I would be a little nervous if I had a huge position in this company. I'm just saying, okay? I'm not saying you have to go to cash and be scared, but maybe you should consider a more diversified investment than listening to these clowns who are going to try to reassure you and keep you in the stock. Now, if somebody's reassuring you on a total world index, maybe that's more reasonable because you're broadly diversified over 9,000 companies and you believe in efficient markets. That's a little bit more reasonable than one stock that could potentially be a bubble. Just saying. It went up, but now it's going down. We got to get these reassurance videos out.
Is the flip side. A highly reactive stock like Palantir is going to behave in an overreactive manner, upwards and downwards, and yesterday you saw an example of downwards. But it's important to remember, when in doubt, zoom out. The stock is up 320% in the past 12 months. It hasn't taken a breather in 2 years.
That is 100,000% irrelevant. Okay, it's taking a breather, or maybe it's popping. I'm not saying the bubble is popping right now, but it could be a bubble, and it could pop, and it could go down, and it could go anywhere. If a stock can go up anywhere, it can go down anywhere. I mean, that's not going to zero. But this thing could sell off more than you expect. That's a huge risk. And when you're in one company, the fear factor is a lot higher than if you're in an index and an index starts dropping. Just saying. That's my humble opinion. It's a lot easier to hold a total world index when it drops 30, 40, 50% than one stock. Because maybe you made a mistake.
It's okay for the stock to correct a little bit. That's fine. In fact, it may even drop further. Oh my God. Did I just say that? Yes, it may drop further because in the short term, the market can be insanely irrational, insanely unpredictable. You think of a kid that just had 5 chocolate bars and is basically running zoomies in your living room. That's the market in the short term. You don't know how bad it's going to get before it stops. Nobody
Sounds like Palantir could be irrational in the short term.
knows. And if it's going to drop further, what do? Do you sell now? Do you buy now? Do you buy later? Do you wait for it to stop? Do you wait for it to come up again? I'm going to explain everything right now. Do not worry. I'm going to give you all the strategies. So first of all, you have to understand that you need to fight the panic. You need to eliminate the emotions out of your investing. And fighting the panic is the best strategy in your investing journey. And it's quite easily achievable by doing one thing and one thing only. The worst enemy of panic is logic. Once you introduce logic, panic is like one of them bullies in high school. It folds, you see, because
you should be panicking. This is one company that has insane multiples during an AI hype phase. It is perfectly rational to panic. Now, a total world index going down, is the world coming to an end? Are all publicly traded companies going to zero? Is the economy never going to recover? Possible. But it's much more likely that it will recover and you won't lose 90 or potentially even 100% of your investment. Not saying that's going to happen with Palantir. It does have a great balance sheet. But the risk is you bought into a bubble with one stock. Think about it, people. Think about it. Your instincts, your gut reaction to a one stock dropping after a massive run up that is potentially extremely overvalued is correct.
You have to make a list. And in that list, you have to write down what inspired you, what made you start investing in Palantir, right? If you bought Palantir because the stock went up and you thought you're going to make money based on the momentum, congratulations, you have played yourself because now you have nothing to lean on.
You know why these guys bought Palantir? Because it was popular on YouTube. And if they buy a stock that's popular and it goes to zero, they delete the videos. That's what they do. Palantir has a huge cult following. Everybody's talking about Palantir. These guys struck gold with this stock to further their YouTube careers and push you into their freaking paid garbage. That's why they like Palantir. Trust me on that one. No, it's because they like the company. Shut up. Now, bussy boy.
No conviction in the stock, you don't understand what's going on, you're freaking out, you're panicking. If the only reason you bought the stock is because you expected it's going to go up higher and now it's going down lower, well, congratulations, you're screwed. I have nothing to give you except a solid advice. My advice to you, go learn about the stock, figure out what it is you bought, and try to understand if it's a good investment long-term fundamentally. Otherwise, you're basically playing a rigged game against yourself. Now,
yep, price to sales of 58. No risks there whatsoever, guys.
If you made a list, and if based on that list, the fundamental reasons by which you've decided to invest in the stocks have not changed over the past 24 hours, Alex Karp is still the CEO, the profitability is still the same, the stickiness of the product is still the same, the balance sheet still looks great, cash flow still looks great, they haven't lost a single contract. In fact,
the valuation looks insanely not great. The amount of growth that's being priced into this company would have to have astronomical growth to grow into its valuation. Could happen? Yeah, it could. But it could also be a bubble. And you might be buying into one. And they're trying to reassure you. They're basically saying, if you're panicking now, you're kind of a noob. But if you stick with Palantir like I'm telling you to, you're not a noob anymore. You're actually a better investor because you understand the stock. No, you don't. I don't think you understand the concept of risk, especially when it comes to individual stocks, which are astronomically more risky than indexing. Just saying.
Peter Thiel is currently basically the number one phone call from the White House except Elon, right? So with all of this, I don't see anything fundamental that may cause me to doubt my initial investment. So
yeah, there's nothing fundamental that could possibly result in this stock being a bubble with a PE of forward PE of 148, price to sales of 58.73, price to free cash flow of 159, and price to operating cash flow of 157. Nothing could possibly go wrong with this company. Nothing at all, guys. It's going to be okay. Just keep DCAing and sign up for my Patreon.
if that is the case, right, what do? Well, you see, It's actually one of the most stupid things that people do in these sort of times. Now, today might be a slow sample size of what actually happens when the market takes a dive. When the market takes a dive and your favorite stock is down, what most people are going to do, despite what they say, despite what they promise, despite what they say in Discord, and the great commitment to conviction and buying the dip, most people, most retail investors actually sell the dip because they freak out. Everybody has a price.
Ding, 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 ding. You hit the nail on the head, Tom. I wonder if there's a better way to invest for the retail investor. I don't know. But what enriches you more?
Everybody has a breaking point. If a stock is down 5%, they're going to say, yeah, sure, I'll DCA. I'm actually going to buy a little bit of it because it dips. I'm going to buy the dip. Then it dips another 5%. And they're like, okay, I'll still buy the dip. And then it dips another 5%. And they're like, okay, I'll buy the dip. And then it dips another 10%. And at this point, they say, oh my God. Maybe I've got it all wrong. Maybe Palantir is hot trash. I'm down already 25%. And then you say, well, okay, I'm going to give it one. Let's go. And you buy it again and it's dipped another 5%. And now you're panicking. And now you're fully emotional. And now you're going to sell because you're in full emotional mode. And you're going to sell.
Your emotions are very rational in this case.
But to people like me, who are going to buy this absolutely calmly because we understand what we're getting, a huge discount on a product that only got better over the past 2 years. And then the moment you...
Has he ever showed you his portfolio? Seriously. Has he ever showed you his do we know he's buying the dip? I've showed you my portfolio 1,000 freaking times. I've been plowing money into VT. I'm probably down on all my Roth IRA contributions. I don't care. Okay, I've shown you my portfolio. Have you ever seen his? I don't think you have.
You sell is the moment the market is going to flip. And you're going to be sitting yourself basically to fail. And that's the part I don't want to see happen. I don't know what's going to happen to Palantir stock. I don't know. But there's one thing I do know. If you try and time this, if you try and say, oh my God, I want to sell now, I'm going to wait for the stock to climb back up again, I'm going to start buying again, it's not necessarily the best idea. You see, if you miss the top 10 days over a course of 20 years in the market, your returns will be slashed by half just by losing 10 days in 20 years. And you know what crazy is?
Oh, and most stocks over time underperform treasuries. Did you know that? Most stocks are duds in the long run. Did you know that? But no, just keep DCAing, guys. I'm sure it'll work out for you.
Crazy is that statistically speaking, the best days usually come after the worst days. Some of the best days in the market came after the reddest, craziest days ever.
In the market. Doesn't have to happen with an individual stock. Like I said, the vast majority of stocks throughout history have probably gone to zero or at least underperformed a treasury. Probably keep that in mind. Well, what's going to be the winner, strongman? I don't know. That's why you buy them all. Market cap weights? Maybe.
Ever. Sometimes it's absolutely unpredictable. The market crashes and the next day, boof, and you missed it. Now, the thing here is very, very simple. We've been through this, and we know exactly what's going on. In fact, it's not me even saying this. Jack Bogle has a famous video where he says that selling in a high conviction stock when the stock is heading down contradicts the whole purpose of DCA. It's moronic. It's stupid. It's not me.
He's referring to Jack Bogle, the Vanguard founder, the index fund king. I don't think Jack Bogle would be buying Palantir stock. I think Jack Bogle would be pumping total market index funds. I like how he quotes Jack Bogle for Palantir. Oh my God.
Saying it's Jake Bogle saying it. Now, we in the Palantir community have been through this before. It's not our first rodeo, right? You guys may not remember this if you joined the market over the past 2 years, but we bought the stock when it went public at $10. Then the stock shot up to 35. Oh my God, we're rich. The stock drops to $6. 80% of people sold. 3.
But they didn't, even though they probably never showed you their portfolios. But trust me, bro, they held on to it.
And my friends in the Palantir community, we bought it at 6, at 10, at 12, at 15, at 20, 25, at 30, 35, and 40. You get the point. And now it's at 80. And now the big question is this a small temporary dip or is it a big dip? I don't know. Now, I use objective parameters that are designed to stop me from doing stupid things. I look at Palantir and I say, okay, AI is everywhere. It's taking over the world. AIP, the system of Palantir, is essentially monopolizing the operating system of AI. Clients are talking about 9 to 12 month cycles in which the software literally pays for itself, 60% faster times from insight to decision. And we haven't even talked about the fact that it is insanely oversubscribed. There are people standing in line to try and get it to the door.
AI's everywhere, bro. It's AI, bro. That's the bull thesis. Everybody's using it, apparently. It's AI.
To talk to Palantir. The same thing that happened in NVIDIA on the infrastructure side is happening now on the software side. All you got to do is just talk to clients and talk to experts from the industry. They'll tell you this. I've actually done this, and I suggest you do the same. Now, if it is an overreactive market, like we're seeing right now, because of all the short-term trading that's done by bots, and my thesis has not changed about the stock, and my time horizon has not changed, which is 10 years plus. If my time horizon did not change, I don't need liquidity in the next 10 years and this money.
Then why were you celebrating the stock going up? I mean, I think the responsible thing to say would be like, yeah, it's probably bubble territory right now. Did they do that? I highly freaking doubt they did. Highly freaking doubt it. Just because you bought a stock and it vertical lined doesn't mean squat. The most garbage stocks in the world were vertical lining in 2021. And I called them garbage. And I was right. And I'm pretty convinced Palantir, well, it's not garbage. It's probably in a huge bubble. And all you freaking clowns are buying in right freaking now. And these doofuses are convincing you to stay in. Just keep DCAing, bruh. Just spend all your excess capital buying one stock that could potentially be in a bubble instead of, I don't know, focusing on maxing your tax advantage accounts and buying a total market index. No, don't do that. Buy pound DCA, guys. Come on. You got to be a good investor. Jack Bogle said it about individual stocks. Yep, he did.
And my thesis did not change. This is a discount and a buying opportunity for me, based on my opinion and my research. You do you. You do your research and you do your work. It's not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy Palantir. I'm saying I'm going to buy here because I understand that stocks don't go up in a straight line. Stocks go up and down and up and down and up and down. Eventually they go up. And every time it goes down, I'm buying because I have high conviction in the stock, because I'm convinced that this stock is going to be huge. And that's why I see this as a discount. And if it drops another 10%, another 15%, well, everybody's freaking out. I'm going to be buying more and more. I'll talk about that in a second, how you can have enough money to buy more and more at all times. Now, how?
Okay. So what do you guys think? How many of you just panic sold Palantir? I'm serious. I'm serious. I've been trying to warn you guys. When this stuff happens, the second it starts dropping, you guys crap your pants. He's right about that. But the problem with these guys is they try to convince you to keep buying it. Keep buying it. Keep staying in the cult. Stay in the cult. Stay in the cult. And the amount of risk you're taking is ungodly. Okay? Book a free tax consultation with me. I'm a certified public accountant. Let me do your 2024 business or personal taxes. I'm a CPA domiciled in Virginia. I'll give you a free consultation. You can book a free consult and talk to me for free. I'll even wear a shirt. I'll give you an upfront quote. And I will do your taxes, baby. Probably cheaper than your CPA. And if I'm not cheaper than TurboTax, I'm way better than TurboTax. That's right. Book a free consultation. Fubo, Strongman, tell me about Tattoo Chef options. Any day now, bro. Look, I have a strong thesis about Tattooed Chef. I believe in it. You just got to keep DCAing. Sometimes the market gets irrational and Tattooed Chef will drop. Keep buying. You believe in it. You believe in it. Oh, no, it's bankrupt. Yeah, I remember that. He 10x on that, bro. Let's see. You're the GOAT. I am. What's one of the most annoying things in the market? Open live chat. Everybody keeps asking why a particular stock is down 0.5. Dude, these people are watching the market way too much. I'm trying to tell you this. If you're in high beta stocks and we go through some kind of correction or bear market, you're going to get obliterated. I'm just saying. And a lot of you are piling into these speculative stocks, and your cheeks are going to be eviscerated. I'm just warning you. It may not happen tomorrow, but it's coming. At least I think so. Something ain't right in this market, boys. Oh, yeah. I mean, any selective time period, Palantir. I mean, you could have gone in 2021 from 2021 to 2022, VT crushed Palantir. Okay, it doesn't matter. It's the risk you're taking, especially with a company like this. High multiples are risky. You can lose a lot of money. Just saying. The Boglehead Palantir guy. Let's see. So many comments. Jack Bogle will be buying your CPA services with a coupon. If he was alive, I would hopefully do his taxes. I'd probably do them for free. Be like, thank you, Jack. Around $40 Palantir. Tom Nash said it will make 40x, and it went to 7. So after 80% down, it made a short 2x now after. Just keep DCAing, guys. And all you clowns have been piling in probably at 30, 40, 50, 60. Guaranteed. This thing can go back down to 20. I'm just saying, and it's one stock. This is not an index. Don't confuse index investing and the philosophy behind it with an individual stock. Two entirely different things. I don't think you should DCA an individual. It doesn't make sense. DCAing is like an efficient markets thing. Okay, if you're stock picking, you should be buying it under its intrinsic value. You should be timing it. Why are you DC? It doesn't make sense. DCAing is buying the market at market cap weights because you trust market efficiency over time. Whatever. Keep massively overweighting stocks. Of course you sold it at 80. I bet you did, Ana Martinez. What was the top? When did I sell it? Hold on. I sold it at 80.55. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I sold it right at the top. The exact set, bro. Yes, you can. But these high-flying stocks can get exterminated very quickly. I'm going to book tutoring with you. You can show me how to file my taxes. Well, no, I'm not going to watch you file your taxes. Either you pay me to file your taxes or you don't. I'm not going to tutor you into filing taxes because I'm going to prepare them, not you. If I'm going to sign off on them, I'm preparing them. All right, guys. Well, that's it. Book a free consultation with me. I'm a certified public accountant. I can do your business or personal taxes. Any state in the United States, you can talk to me for free. I'll give you an upfront quote, and I will do your taxes. Have a wonderful night. Cheers.